This video summarizes the paper called The Dark Side of Embodiment, Teaming Up with Robots versus Disembodied Agents. Over the past 2 decades, researchers have been looking at how the embodiment of interactive social agents affect the way humans perceive them and its impact on the interaction itself. However, to our best knowledge, none of them compares it in group interactions. Our paper precisely addresses this issue by exploring the impact of embodied affordances of socially interactive teammates in a cooperative task. In particular, is human disposition to cooperate different between teaming up with robots and with disembodied agents? Also, how would people perceive artificial teammates that do or do not cooperate with the team in favor of selfish actions? How will those perceptions be affected by their embodiment? To explore those questions, we used a game called For the Record, which is an n-player collaborative game. Although it has a musical metaphor, this game is a variant of a public goods game. Basically, in every round, players individually face a dilemma between to cooperate and to defect. However, individual profits can only be achieved if a certain collective threshold as a team is reached. And so we run a user study where a team of 3 players, 1 human participant and 2 artificial agents, engage in a session of 5 rounds of For the Record. We manipulated 3 independent variables. First, the embodiment in a between subjects design. Each participant either partnered with 2 robots or 2 disembodied agents. The second independent variable was the strategy of the agents to play the cooperative game in a within subjects design. One agent was selfish and always opted to defect, while the other agent had a prosocial strategy and always opted to cooperate. Our third independent variable was the outcome of the game, which we decided to control based on previous findings. One of our hypotheses is related to cooperation. We predicted that participants themselves will be more prosocial when teaming up with robots compared to disembodied agents, as previous findings report more compliance with social norms around robots. And because human disposition to cooperate is closely related to several interpersonal aspects such as trust, we've also hypothesized that participants would perceive the team more positively when the teammates were embodied. Finally, because to cooperate can be seen as the moral norm in this social dilemma, we expected that participants would perceive the prosocial agent more positively when it was embodied, and respectively, the selfish agent would be perceived more negatively. The sample that we collected had a total of 111 participants with a mean age of 36 years old, from which 70 people belonged to the embodied condition and 41 to the disembodied condition. We found no significant difference in the cooperation rate of participants that teamed up with robots compared to participants that teamed up with disembodied agents. Regarding the perception of the team, participants perceived higher group identification when collaborating with the embodied agents compared to disembodied agents, but no similar effect was found on group trust. Regarding the perceptions of the agents, we found 2 significant interaction effects in both the perceived warmth and the perceived competence. In post-hoc analysis, we compared how people perceived the prosocial agent between embodiment conditions. Participants attributed both less warmth and less competence when it was embodied compared to when it was disembodied. For the selfish agent, we did not find a significant difference on the attribution of warmth between the 2 conditions of embodiment. However, people perceived the selfish agent as significantly more competent when it was embodied compared to when it was disembodied. So, wrapping up the most important results, by looking at the cooperation of the participants and their perceptions of the team, it seems the embodiment of the robots had an important role on the sense of identity with the team. However, it was not enough to inhibit selfish behaviors by the participants. We speculate that the participants' degree of cooperation might be related to the subjective measure of group trust. Also, the presence of an unconditional defector might per se constrain cooperation. Regarding the perception of the teammates, we found opposite results to what we were expecting. It seems the presence of an embodiment reduced rather than increased the gap between the perceptions of the selfish and the prosocial teammates. We speculate that the presence of an embodiment introduced other factors into the evaluation of the agents beyond their objective strategy during the task. As a result, if embodied affordances are able to mask selfish behaviors, we consider that a dark side of the embodiment may emerge.